eduNEXT. The speakers are Maria Fernanda Magallanes. She is software developer at eduNEXT with a strong focus on community contributions. She is a core contributor to the Open edX platform repository and has worked on initiatives such as the RBAC overall, WordPress integrations, and the Open edX admin console. And together with her, Felipe Montoya, who is a co-founder of eduNEXT and a longtime community member and core contributor. He has worked extensively on platform extensibility through the Open edX hooks framework and has also led outreach efforts around front-end extensibility. eduNEXT will walk us through their Open edX AI framework project. They both will explain to us what their AI framework is about, what it has delivered so far, and what lies ahead. So please, Maria and Felipe, join me on stage and tell us more about it.
Hello, everyone. My name is Maria Fernanda Magallanes. I work as a software engineer at eduNEXT, and I will talk about Open edX AI extension with Felipe Montoya, our CTO. And the main goal of this presentation is to show you what is available in terms of AI and extension, and also tell you more about the project we are working on, what is the current state, and show you the AI in action so you can start using it and contribute back with code, ideas, etc. And I want to start talking about the why. And I think we are agree that AI is not a tendency, it's not a trend right now. It's something that is part of our daily life and is changing quickly, but also it's an opportunity to enhance the education. And the question is, how do we turn the AI into a practical tool for the OpenX community? And trying to solve that question, we enter into an egg chicken dilemma because educators want to use AI, but they are not usually sure about what is technical available and safe. But the developers knows the technical part, but don't always know about the classroom requirements or needs. But also they worry about different things. In the educators' part, they worry about the academic integrity, the over dependence, the bias that could bring the AI, and loss of evidence of learning. And in the developer part, we worry about like too many models, too many frameworks we can implement, the maintenance complexity because there is available a lot of things, and the vendor lock. I'm trying to solve that. Last year at the Open edX conference in Paris, eduNEXT proposed something like very intentional, and it was an AI extensibility framework to try to solve this egg and chicken problem and have something, a base, a foundation, the architectural base that allows to have this connection between Open edX and AI world, ensures extensibility so we can build upon it, and also something that drives evolution because we need a technology or something that enables us to adapt it for the future needs. And that's what we are presenting today. We are not presenting a specific AI feature. It's not something that solves everything, but it's the foundation and the architecture so we can build upon it. And how that looks like? Right now, there is an Open edX AI extension plugin that is supported in the Teak Ulmo version. which is pluggable. It's a complete plugin behind the org of OpenEDX and have the backend, the frontend, and the tutor plugin inside that repo. It's auditable. So we are storing the chats and the configuration in an immutable model. So we can see the information, what is happening around the AI and the chats in our platforms. It's aspects ready because we are sending XAPI events. Right now, we don't have dashboards in aspects, but we are sending the events so we can, in a moment, have it. Also, this plugin is LLM agnostic. That means that you can pick your preferred provider. You can use OpenAI, Anthropic, Gemini, and also it's extensible. So you can create your own workflows and create your own plugins based on OpenAX AI extension. This plugin was built over the architecture the team presented in Paris. That is based in orchestrators, processors, and actuators. A quick summary about it is the orchestrators handle the workflow we are going to have for communicate, and then we have the processors that handles the transformation on the information, the connections with the AI, and also we have the actuators that put the information in the environment, in this case in OpenEDX, like show the functionality. Next one. Yeah. And having this plugin open a door of different capabilities. In the technical capacities we gain with this plugin, I already mentioned some of them, like LLM agnostic, auditability, extensibility, but also we have standalone functions. In this case, we have the possibility to configure summary of content in our platform. We can have interactive chats, and we can have the content generation using content libraries. And those standalone functions are customizable that open another set of capabilities, in this case, the semantic ones, because the tech is ready. So you can start building, creating, put your creativity and your skills to leverage prompts and tools so you can maximize the value you bring to your students, to your clients. So yeah, basically that's it. I talk about the why and the how. So I will pass the mic to Felipe to show you like the what, and also tell you more about the project, the current state, and show you how this looks like in OpenEDX.
Thank you, Margaret. So I like to dive into the current capabilities of the framework. And I'll go back to this slide, which was exactly as presented in Paris. That was, let's get started with something. This was like the key of our proposal back then was, let's have something that is criticizable, that someone can take, run it, play it, and then say, it's not working for me. I need something different. I want to tweak it in this particular way. Because the conversation of how do we include AI in OpenEDX was a little bit stuck on there is nothing to use, and the developers were in I don't have any use case to build. So we were stuck in that cycle. So let's just break that cycle and evolve according to adoption. So where are we today? What's the current status? And I'd like to address something that Nicole said in the introduction, and then thank you for it, but it's bigger than an eduNEXT framework. This is an open edX framework. It's built in the core of the community. It's built already at the open edX organization in GitHub. It's built under the premises of the maintenance and the OEP 55 or maintenance ownership, and it has been contributed already by at least 3 organizations in the open edX ecosystem. That's eduNEXT, Axim, and Raccoon Gang. So it is a framework that I hope it's bigger than just our company eduNEXT, and it's something that the community can take and just build with it and make it grow. The version 1 of the framework was released in December, so we worked until the last day we were working last year, and then by the end of the day we said we have a stable enough product that we'll call V1. Now, I took this screenshot a few days ago, and it was already V1.1 because we are continue evolving it and we are testing it and changing and tweaking, and now we are even working on new features. As Marta said, this is available already for Teak and Ulmo. So if you have an install that is more than June this last year of like antiquity, like it's newer than that, you should be able to use this already today. And also you can test it. We have a sandbox, a public sandbox available. It's under this address, takoral.edunext.cloud. And I'm sharing here some credentials. You can create your own, but we wouldn't want the lack of, I couldn't activate my account or I had whatever problems, didn't sign up for the course, I couldn't find it, to prevent you from testing and giving us beautiful and fantastic feedback. We have a course called Astronomy Assisted by AI in there that has a very direct use case and a very clear use case so that you can experience it as a learner. But as this user, you already have also access to Studio, so you can experience some other aspects of it. And I have this video here that I would normally play, but the site is working all right today, so I'm going to skip that and I'm going to show you live on the Takoral sandbox. So as I said, we have this astronomy assisted by AI course. I'm entering here. Actually, this is an author user, but it doesn't change the experience when I am starting as a learner. So what you notice right from the get-go is that I have this new button here that lets me call up the AI. And I have this in different, in all my different units. And whenever I click it, what happens is the framework takes the context of this page, including questions, including should you have a video with transcript, it extracts the transcripts and puts that in a way that it's easily readable by the AI. And then it opens a chatbot, which is initialized with the context of what's going on in my course. So I can already talk with an AI that is not only the model that I'm putting behind. For this specific case, I'm using OpenAI, but it could be your own model, your university model, or like the pre-trained model that you have on your specific content. It's using that within the context of what it knows that I am just reading. As a learner, I just started reading this, or I just read this, and now I want to ask questions. So how does this relate with rate equation? So I can ask things like that, and it will take the context of my course and the AI at the same time. It's not so fast today, but that also depends a lot of the model. What we have seen is different models behave at tremendously different speeds. So I can work with this. You'll see here that I have this final message always saying learning mode. And this is because for the purpose of this presentation, I wanted to highlight that instructions, as Mafra was saying, the semantic capabilities of the assistant here are different depending on the configuration that I put. And as I said, I have a very clear scenario here. That is, I have a learning assistant for most of the course, and that's the one I will see in all of these courses, in all of these sections. But if I go to the, let's go back here, to the exam, I will have a different assistant. Just for the exam, I will have an assistant that it has a little bit of a configuration here that Stellar Guide will mentor me during my exam. And when I open this, it is specifically prompted and like the instructions are very clear that it should not give me answers, and instead it should either redirect me to other pieces of the course content, or it should make me think about how the knowledge I already had in order to answer my questions. So I'm going to, when this opens, I'm going to completely just copy one of the questions and see what comes back from this. So from my prompting, the chat starts by saying that it will not give me answers, but it will just redirect me to different units in the course. And if I give it the exact question that I'm trying to answer, it should send me back and say, hey, you know what? You can learn about this somewhere else. And that was, I lean towards the developer side. So my worries are that there are too many models and how do we make this maintainable? But I am counting on the people that are more inclined towards the teaching aspect of this to write the best prompts available, so that we can actually make use of these types of assistants within the course in a way that makes sense for the course. I will show you one more example of use cases, and then we'll go into the configuration bits. So this is the typical chatbot, and we're very used to this already. Like, this exists in so many forms, and everyone could just go and use ChatGPT like out of the box already in a minute. But part of this exploration and part of this proposal was, how do we make use of AI in more specific and nuanced ways? So we created one example here, that is, what could the AI do for me as a course author? So I'm writing, probably this is not a good unit for that, but I am writing this unit where I have my text, I have my video, I have whatever. And then I want to create some questions for this. Like, I want to create a problem bank. So we have here this AI assistant that will connect with the functionality of libraries, where I can select a library and give it a number of questions with some specific instructions. Make them hard questions, or even more information like call the collection, Meetup, and then I'll generate. And what this does is, it takes a good while, but it will take this, extract the content, and then send it to the AI for further processing, and present and create question banks based on the content that I have here. So the idea is not to have a broad AI that is just a textbook that says, you can learn anything, ask me any question, but also be capable of having very focused and narrow use cases, where I can say things like, create some questions for me, or I can say things like, double proof the language of this course. Where did I write something different? What is not being consistent? This always happens. I had this in my mind. Maybe I should use the video where it works, or maybe I should use the live presentation. This is a easy error, or easy to solve error about the format that the AI is answering with. Probably didn't conform to what we were expecting, but rest assured, we'll fix it. In the meantime, I'll show you some other examples in the same library of different collections of questions that we have done in the past. And it will create questions for you such as this that you can already take and modify and edit and move forward with. Now, as I said, I was going to show you that and then come back to the configuration side of this. This is not, we called it back in Paris, we called it not prescriptive. We are not telling you what this does. We are developers. We cannot tell you what this does. We don't know. But what we can help with is create an extendable enough mechanism so that you can do different things. And I want you to focus on the workflow profiles, AI workflow profiles that I created for this specific course, the ones I showed you. And I have two, and I have an Astronomy General. This is a workflow designed to be a stellar guide. It has a specific template, which I will show you in a second. And it has different things here. I can customize the front-end messages. How do I call the assistant? I can customize if I want this to be, actually, I'll show you the finalized configuration. And if this should do the streaming, that's when it types real fast, or if it should wait for the message and just give me a final blob, it should, everything that I want, the provider that I will use, I could also, if I have set up a global provider, OpenAI, but I could be setting a specific API key just for this course because I'm mindful of my tokens. Not everyone will, not every university will pay globally for all the tokens, but probably your course has a specific API key that allows you to use tokens on your own budget and your own account. So these sort of things are very configurable. It's a little bit technical. I won't say that it isn't, but we are trying to work on this and make it better every day. Same I have for the astronomy exam. I'm just using a different prompt here, and for the test, I set it up to the stream false. So during the examples, actually for the responses in the exam, it had to wait until the message was complete and then publish it. And the problems. This is very important. These are the semantic capabilities. So I created some profiles of work, and now I have to write the prompts for this. So during the Stellar Guide learning mode, I have a very open prompt where I want to emphasize the behaviors, prioritize the information that's in my course instead of information that it already knows from the model. I want a particular way of interacting with learners. I want some safety limits. And I have a final instruction and every message with learning mode, just for the purpose of this presentation. But again, I am saying, and I'll say it every time, I am not the best prompt writer for academic purposes. I'm very good at writing prompts for my own development purposes, but I know that people in this room are better than any of us in our team writing for actual academic purposes. So I'm waiting to see what you will come up with. Just to show you what the difference were with the exam prompt, I had here very clear messages. You guys, you read edX, you never solved. You must absolutely not provide the answers. I even gave it like an example. What's a good way of answering? Like, if the user gives the question, you just said, I can't evaluate this, and just put them in the right direction. So you will see these kinds of things, and you can take them to further limits that I'm not even imagining here. Okay, so that's the live part of the presentation, which is what you'll see the video just without the voice, because I was planning to do that part by myself. And what are we working on right now? We are doing a second phase of the original project that we started with Axim. And our current goals include a complete second level of extensibility. That means right now in V11, what we have is we created some AI workflows and some profiles that you can use, and you can configure them in many ways. But the orchestrators, what they do at the core of the programming, it's set. Now we are working on having, and we are very advanced on this, the capability for you, your team, your developers, if you're a developer yourself, for you directly to take this AI extensions plugin and get all that without having to rewrite it or fork it. You can just go and write the specific UI box, the UI React component where you want the chat to interact. Or you can use the provided chat because this functionality might be enough for you, but you want the model to work different. Every question should first go into one model to make sure that it's a valid question from the course, then to a second model to actually get a proper answer, and then to a third model to do safety checks. The user is not asking for information on how to build a nuclear bomb. Well, I don't know. You can write all these AI-facing functionality without having to redo the whole framework. We are trying this by means of creating badges generation. So we have an AI that first extracts the skills, like definition of the skills from the description of a course, and then on the second round, it creates a specific open badges v3 formatted badges so that you can publish them elsewhere. So assisting the educator in creating some of the boring parts of the job of educating online. And we're working as well on what it means to have a human in the loop. How can we give the AI specific instructions, but then let the human not only review them and sign at the end, that's the dumb way of doing it, but also change them, interact, see what's going on, ask for further clarification, further refinement, take what's being done, give some more prompts to the agent, and make it work again for you. These are the things we're working on. We have some progress already. There is a much more author-friendly way of configuring some stuff in the studio. And we have published an eduNEXT OpenAI badges that works as a demonstrator that you can do something like this on your own. This plugin is very small in comparison, or 8 commits, and it requires a lot less code to get started, but it already builds on top of the foundations that we had before. And some debugging capabilities. This, I don't expect you to be able to read the letter, just maybe see the colors, but through this, we can go back into the history of what happened in the AI thread. Why is it giving me this completely contrary answers to what I was expecting, and try to see what the instructions are being for the LLM thread. So you can see what's happening by the system instructions, the user queries, and also there is an intermediate step where the AI can call functions from the LMS, like get context from the course or such things. So you can retrace that and understand as a developer what's going on. Even as an author, what's going on with your experience and how your prompt needs to change. Those are all things that are in the master branch right now. We haven't released more than V11 at the moment, but I'm sure there will be a V1.2 and 1.3 coming up really soon. So with this, we're a little bit over the time that we thought we would need, but I want to invite all of you to join the AI working group, the AI extensions working group. We are discussing this on a monthly basis, and your perspective on what we're building is not only welcome, but absolutely necessary to be able to decide what the next steps are. But also, since we already have it, try the code. It's open source. And go test it, tweak it, and let us know what's not working. That is being able to criticize this code is a very important part of the workflow right now. And since I'm here, if you want professional development around this, of course, contact our sales team, but I'll make that brief. Thank you very much for your attention. And if you want, we'll be at the lounges after the next presentations to discuss anything that might come our way.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Felipe and Mayfair. Thank you so much. It was a great presentation, very interesting tool. Looking forward to test it and let you know about our experience. We have a couple of questions. We are a bit over the time, but we will address some of the questions at least. So a quick one is maybe regarding the language. Is it available only in English or are there other languages available? Is this something you plan for the future?
Sure. There are two different ways of answering the language question here. One is on the UI. The UI is completely translated, so you can just take one or the other. I don't think it's translated, not to all the languages that we have in the OpenEDX project, but it's translatable. So it has been already written in a way that we can plug it in and have the translations working group do proper translations of it. I think that's a very important topic for us to take to the drawing board and make sure that we put some time into it. But the translatability is there. Now, in terms of the actual language that the model speaks, that is on you. One other example that I had was during the exam mode, I wanted to just answer everything in Italian. But at the end, I decided it should be like just put the exam mode or learning mode at the end, but you can already configure this from your prompting and from your instructions to the agent.
Okay, great. And there is another question regarding the prompting. If someone installs this AI framework, is there a default prompting or how does this work?
There is a default prompt, which is not too bad, but it's very basic. It's the one that we use during development, and in there we are focusing on make your answers short, like be a good guide for the student, whatever, but also make them short. It's a good place to start, and the way I wrote the prompts for this presentation was also by using a chat GPT. So I gave it the initial developer's prompt and I asked them more things, and it just grew the prompt into something more friendly to a teaching assistant. But yeah, definitely, I'm waiting to see like all the different like best practices that will come up in the world of prompting this, and definitely let's share them. And we have already a space in the code where we could have a library of prompts if that's of use. Absolutely. We'll be happy to have those as well.
Okay, great. And maybe one last question before we switch to the next presentation is about the Aura assessments. Does it also grade and give feedback in the Aura assessments, or is this something which is more for the future plan?
Yeah, I've heard that one before, and I'm absolutely in line with that. It's a very good use case that we want to have. It's not built in yet. During phase 2, one of the goals that we have is to explore how we can connect this cleanly with Xblocks. Aura is one of those Xblocks. But yeah, it's not built in yet, but I completely see that happening in the near future.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. Then thank you both for your great presentation. You all, to the audience, you all can with eduNEXT after the second presentation on Carpet D and ask further questions and get in touch with them. Thank you both.